Christian, thank you so much for chatting with me. I really appreciate it. Um,
Thank you.
th this is no question my favorite film of the festival so far. Is just absolutely remarkable. Just from start to finish, I was on board and riveted. I'm wondering what excited you to be a part of Zone of Interest.
I'm really proud and glad that I be a part of John's vision because I'm a huge fan of his work. He's an inspiring personality. He's an inspiring artist, and yeah, I'm really, really glad to be a part of this. Yeah.
It is something special and very unique in so many different ways. I was wondering too, where did you shoot it? Because like certainly you didn't shoot it outside of Auschwitz. Like
It was in Auschwitz.
it was.
It was, yeah, very close to the camp. I think 50 meters or 100 meters, and very close to the original house of the Hess family. That was not possible to shooting in the original house because there's a family and the house getting old. We're shooting one scene when I wash my genitals in the basement. This is the original basement and part of the original tunnel system to his office. And yeah, all the summer scenes, there was shooting in Auschwitz and surrounding the landscape and something. The riding scenes were next to this little village. Yeah, and then the winter scenes were shooting in Katowice and in Wałbrzych. I think this is pronounced right. And then we had 3 additional shoots because after the cutting process, John decides to make additional scenes in it because there was something missing to have a connection to this and that, and we had 3 additional shooting days in Łódź or Lodge, and yeah, and that was a really special experience to shooting in Auschwitz. And if we had the lunch break, we all the day we see the camp, and that was, yeah, it was intense.
That's exactly what I was wondering then, because that I mean this is I mean this is a on screen. It's not this is fiction in that sense. It's on screen, but you're in a real space, bringing a real person to life on screen. That's got to be something unique. And from your perspective, I was wondering what do you think defines Rudolph?
He he's a father. He wants to be his work as good as he can. Maybe he wants to be the best in his work. He's a very good bureaucrat, a very good to structure things. Um, and I think he likes the power he has. Um, because when I uh, visit the original camp for the first time, it was in this shooting period before shooting. And I was thinking, is it good to do this or is it better to do after the shooting? I was unsure, but then I decided to do it before shooting. And when I visit the camp, I visit not only as a human being, I visit this as an actor who will play Rudolf Hoss. And then I felt the dimension of his, it must be, maybe he was thinking, I'm the king of this. Um, because he said to his wife, you are the queen of Auschwitz. So maybe he felt like a king. So, and if you hear, he was in his prime in the summer. We see him before he's transferring to Oranienburg, but he felt like a king. So, and, but he is an ordinary and boring person, I would say. Yeah.
I like that you say that because one of the things that I thought with him is the way the tone of this film, the way he's presented, he could just be that your supervisor at work.
Yeah.
Like, it's so interesting. He's going in and, oh yeah, I've got to go in and take care of work. I think his wife says he works long hours to provide for us and all this stuff. I thought, he sounds like a good guy, and then you realize what he's doing for work, and it's like, oh no.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is I had a really interesting conversation. If you want to show a good guy in a movie, then show him with animals, and show him with a baby, and show him with kids, because evil person would push the kids or kick the animal or something. But we see him, he's in love, he's with his horse, he's in love with this horse. It sounds really ridiculous, but you understand, right?
Yeah.
But he, yeah, that he was fascinating in nature, and he had there's a book about birds, and the author of this book, in this foreword, speaks about Rudolf Hoss, and he was interesting in birds. So, and he was a very good horse rider, and he loves his kids, his children, and he loves this beautiful, normal family life, luxury life, house with a big garden with a swimming pool. And yeah, but yeah, you are right, he could be a normal guy, but daddy goes to work, but his work is horrible.
Yeah. And I one of the things you sort of touched on there is, you talked about power.
Yeah.
This film really made me think of the idea of privilege. And I was just wondering, from strictly from your perspective, what do you think the problem of privilege is? What is it? Why is privilege such an issue that allows for things like this to take place?
I think maybe people cannot, it's difficult to, how can I say it? It's a very good question. How can I say it? It's to have privileges or power. People cannot work with that. It's not good for human beings to have this. And we see it. We see people changed when they have privileges or power. And I think there's a discussion in Germany now, for example, in the theater scene. It's not good to have only one person as the big boss of a theater. We have to create a team. We have to work as a team. And I think this is a good idea, because we live in a time only of I. So, and we forget the we. And I think sometimes people forget the we when they are in higher positions or something. And it's not healthy to have so much power.
I like what you're saying there with the we, because I think with privilege, so often we just turn on the blinders to anyone else's story but our own.
Yes,
and
yes.
and we see those sorts of things here in the film. Like the horrible screams from Auschwitz
Yeah.
are shown with the perspective they're shown, that almost seems like, "Oh, those annoying neighbors are at it again. They're waking me up in the middle of the night." But like you said, like, we lose sense of the we.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so easy to forget what's around us. We are masters of self-deception, and it helps us to survive, yes, in one time, but it's crazy how easy is it to forget what's around us. And we see this in this family. It's we haven't hear the noises in the shooting process. And it was really important because it's so strange to see them act naturally and to hear all the sounds, to smell this. It's crazy and it's horrible to see this. And yeah, there's a second movie in it. If you close your eyes, then you see different pictures. And it's great in as an audience to have this, but it's uncomfortable at the same time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I really appreciate your time, Christian. As we wrap up, I'm just wondering what you hope people take away from Zone of Interest.
I hope they never forget that normal people do this to other people, and they never forget there's something inside of us, all of us. It's not important what religion you have, what color of your skin, what's your sexuality. It's in all of us. And the decisions we made defines us. And this is, I think, the most important thing for me, to talk about it. Never forget this incredible crime, and never forget that can happen again. And we hope don't. Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I really appreciate that. I think the film is so profound in so many ways, and you're wonderful in it, and the film's incredible. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.